morning, friends, and welcome to today's video. Say hi, Tilly. Can you say hi? Say hi. Hi. Today's going to be an exciting day. We are, after deliberating and deliberating, I even placed a voting poll on my Instagram. You can find me at Ashley Elaine Home and on one of my YouTube shorts, whether or not I should paint my hutch. I wanted to, if I decided to paint it, I wanted to give it that aged, distressed look. So I have finally decided, after all the votes came in, it was still like a 50-50. 50 yes, 50 no. But one of the comments I saw someone leave was that they loved the contrast that the dark wood had with the white dishes. So my idea of painting the hutch was not to go lighter. It was actually to stay in a dark color so that we still have that contrast. But I'm just struggling with the wood tone color. It's dark, it has a red tone to it. I'm trying to get away from some of the different colored woods. They're almost the same, but they're just not quite the same. So I think that's what's bothering me the most. So I am gonna go ahead and we are going to paint in distress. The color I'm actually choosing, and I will link a couple of example photos I found again off Pinterest, is almost like a black or charcoal distressed look. I did pick up some milk paint. I'm going to use milk paint. It's somewhat similar to a chalk paint, to put the color all over. And then we're going to distress the edges in certain areas. And then I'm going to place a soft wax. I have a clear wax, but I also have a dark soft wax. So let's go ahead and get started. I need to completely remove everything from the hutch, and then I can go ahead and pull it back away from the wall. I am just gonna paint it right in here. So we'll put a few towels, drop cloths down, and we will get started. This is the paint that we are going with by Rust-Oleum. It's in the color Eclipse. It's a matte finish, so it leaves a brushed effect, and it bonds basically to every surface. Very minimal prep, so you don't have to necessarily sand. And I did purchase this off of Amazon. So here's our first coat. It's said to almost apply it like a V shape to give it a washed look. So that's what I did. But I am gonna have to go back over it a second time. And let's start on the bottom. have our entire first coat applied, and we're gonna let that dry, and then we'll come back and do a second coat. But it is looking really good. I love the way this milk paint already makes it look aged. You can kind of tell as it's starting to dry in places. So very soft. While we are waiting for our hutch to dry, the first coat, it is Memorial Weekend this weekend. Today's Saturday and we are off on Monday as well. So it's a 3-day weekend. And my husband had mentioned doing something for food that was just kind of an extra treat for the holiday weekend. So I'm gonna run up to the store. I think we're gonna do like a seafood, like some kind of seafood boil. So I'm gonna go check out the crab legs, shrimp, but I thought that just sounded like a really yummy thing to have. And then I have been craving a Bloody Mary. I don't typically drink often, and when I do, it's just for the enjoyment of like 1 or 2 simple cocktails or maybe some wine. But I thought it would be fun, and it was a good compatible drink to have with the seafood to do a Bloody Mary. So I'm gonna pick up some ingredients for that, and then later on we will prepare all that. So let's real quick run to the store. We have let the hutch dry completely, and now we're going to take a little bit of sandpaper and rough up some edges to distress it, and then we will apply the dark soft wax. So here is the dark wax I'm going to use along with this brush to now put on areas. So I finished scuffing up areas. I'm gonna take a wet towel and just wipe it all. But it definitely, if you can see the edge, gave it that old look. So all the final details are done with the hutch. It's distressed. It's very hard to see in this lighting, so I apologize for that. But it turned out really pretty. Here's the ingredients for the Bloody Mary. We're going to use this Tito's handmade vodka, Clamato, Worcestershire sauce, I love to use tahini seasoning, and then I got some more Old Bay. I need to fill my little seafood shaker here, a lemon, some ice, and then I always top it off with olives. One thing I forgot was the hot sauce. Now it's ready to stir and enjoy. I wanted to go ahead and show you what we used and how we decorated our summer sourcing items we got from the other day. So this window here I placed above our bed and styled it with this cute basket full of hydrangeas, and I really love how this turned out. And I also did some decorating back in the dining room. We did style the soup tureen on our fireplace mantle. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this all off, put some fresh new batteries in our battery operated candles, and I'm gonna give our black lanterns, the glass inside, just a really good cleaning and place those back in it. So I used some of our hydrangeas we picked up and this other little ivy garland that I had just to help hold everything inside the soup tureen. It was a little bit hard to manipulate the lid, but I eventually got it placed just perfect and the flowers arranged, and I think it turned out very elegant. So now that we are done with our hutch, we are gonna decorate. I'm going to go ahead and use some of the things we picked up in the last video for our summer decor sourcing video, and let's see how that turns out. I think I'm gonna place that big bowl, this one that we purchased, in the hutch, and let's get it decorated. My vision for the bowl was to place the hydrangeas, just kind of lay them in. So I think I'm going to take the individual stems off of these like this and just lay them all inside. So that's pretty much, and then these as well. I have these that I was going to possibly, you know, drape over as such. So let's try that and see how it looks. Here is our picnic basket that we found thrifting, and I want to try to turn it into some kind of pretty centerpiece for the dining room table. found these Waverly plates, 2 of them. They're transferware. And I've been searching for the black print. I loved the little scenery, like a Renaissance scenery. She's playing a harp and it's like they're grouped around listening to her sing and play. I thought it was so beautiful. I love the lace looking detail and flowers all over it. So I grabbed 2 of those and I'm going to place them in the hutch. I also came across this new white pitcher, so I switched the other one out and added that in. But as you see, here are both plates. I think it just was the touch it needed. I also added in this little checkered rattan tray. And then of course we have our most beautiful black and white Boston. She's our prized possession and the best piece to complete our household. Aren't you, baby? Yes, hers is a sweet baby. You're a pretty girl. I decided on doing fresh sweet corn and our crab legs along with our stuffed crab and cheese mushrooms. I baked them. Everything turned out absolutely wonderful. And this is going to wrap up our Memorial weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And please, if you liked my content, subscribe, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.